We always hear people talk about that girl. She's the one who has her fitness routine, her money together, her man together, her lifestyle together, but nobody actually tells you how to become her. In this video, we're going to deep dive into the aspects of a high value woman, what she is and what she is not. And please believe it's more than just expensive trips to Bali and luxury handbags. So we're going to get into it. And if you're agreeing with this comment, like, tag, subscribe, and let me know how you feel in the comments. So let's get into it. The first thing a high value woman is emotionally mature. She knows how to control her emotions. That doesn't mean she doesn't feel her emotions. It doesn't mean she gaslights herself. It means she feels her emotions and she knows how to properly manage them and properly articulate them to people. What a high value woman is not is a woman who lets her emotions control her. These are the crash outs. Every single time something happens, you're wearing your emotions on your sleeve. You let your emotions drive your life. That is not high value. So if you're high value, you're not crashing out, but you're also not letting people treat you like trash. You're letting people know, listen, I appreciate that and I expect to be treated better in the future. Second thing is a high value woman has self respect and she has confidence. And a lot of people don't understand what self respect is, but you're not putting yourself in situations that sabotage yourself. So she has confidence. She's not arrogant, meaning she's not constantly talking about herself or self promoting herself, but she knows who she is and she knows her flaws and she accepts them and she tries to work on herself every day. Which brings me into the third aspect of a high value woman. They have a growth mindset. Now, what exactly is a growth mindset? A growth mindset means that you know when to improve and when to work on yourself. And you look at failure not as something as bad, but something in which you can improve on and become a better person. You intrinsically know that you could be a better person than what you are. It's continuous improvement. And a high value woman knows that she could continuously improve herself, and she does continuously improve herself. One thing that I've noticed about high value women is that when you meet one, she's always trying to improve some element of her life, whether it's making her business better, making her aesthetic better, making sure that she's keeping her body healthy. She is doing all the things she can to be the best woman she can be. And it's not in a toxic way, but it's in a self edifying way. High value woman is number 4, financially responsible. She doesn't just have the bags, she knows how to get to the bag and she knows how to keep the bag, if you know what I'm saying. A high value woman is not the woman who's buying the, Louis Vuitton bag, but is afraid that she's not going to be able to pay her bills. A high value woman knows how to manage her budget. A high value woman knows how to keep her credit score in check. A high value woman puts her finances on the top of her list in terms of the things that she makes sure that she keeps straight. And she is not waiting for some man to save her in terms of her finances. So if you want to be that girl, get your finances in check. And later on this month, I will be dropping some videos about finances. So just keep tuned in for that. Number 5 is authenticity. A high value woman shows up as herself. She's not trying to be anybody else but her. And she is her unapologetically, whatever her looks like. And just a little example of this, I know like I'm a very direct person. And I learned I'm not for everybody, meaning not everyone can handle my directness, not everyone can handle the truth. But at the end of the day, that is who I am unapologetically. You take it or you leave it. It doesn't mean that sometimes I can't, massage the message a little bit in order for people to receive it better. But it does mean that I am not going to change intrinsically who I am in order to impress you. I live for an audience of myself and God, and that is it. And if you even think about this in a biblical context, Jesus was himself. He didn't try to change for anybody. He didn't try to meld himself into something else. He was who he was, and he couldn't apologize for it. So let's move on to the next point about being a high value woman. She's kind and empathetic. High value does not mean that you are mean. I see a lot of women thinking like I'm high value and they're stuck up. No, you're not. No, you're not. If you are stuck up, you are not high value. High value women are kind. They are empathetic. They have a gregarious energy about them. People want to be around them. You got to think of what that girl actually embodies. It's the girl that everybody wants to be around and everybody wants to be. And you can't be that girl if you're mean and nobody likes you. So they are kind. Number 7, they have high standards. High value women are classy. They are elegant. They are not about to put themselves in situations that don't represent them. One of the things that I've heard people say is that's on brand for you. So like you'll say something like, "Oh, I like to go to the spa," and people will be like, "That's on brand for you." You know you're a high value woman when people say that's on brand for you for things that are very high standard. And I'm not talking about money. One time one of my friends, she was talking to me and she was like, "No, Chidi, I wouldn't put you in a chaotic situation because I know you're classy and I know you cannot be in situations like that." It wasn't because I told her I'm classy, I'm elegant, I refuse. It wasn't because I told her that. It was because there was something about me that exuded that to her, that let her know that those are the standards Chidi has, and I will not put Chidi in situations that are below her standard. Have high standards for yourself, high standards for who you put yourself around, high standards for what you eat, high standards for where you go. You should have high standards in every aspect, in every element of your life in order to be that high value woman. Independence. A high value woman is independent. She is INDEPE. Okay, listen, spell it out. She is independent. She doesn't need anybody to pay her bills. She doesn't need anyone to give her the life that she wants. She don't need nobody to give her the soft life. And I have some videos about that I'll link in the comments below, because the soft life, the true soft life, comes from you. It's something that I've said many, many times before on my channel. But if you really want a soft life, you need to build that independence within yourself, because that's how you're going to get a soft life that nobody can take away from you. Number 9, she cares about her mental health and her physical well-being. You can't be unhealthy mentally or physically and call yourself that girl. And it's not so much about aesthetic. Notice, I didn't say that she's pretty. I didn't say that she is in impeccable shape. She takes care of herself. She goes to the gym. She eats healthy. She makes sure that she doesn't binge on anything that's unhealthy. She doesn't smoke all the time and drink all the time, because those are low value behaviors. She only participates in things that are going to push her towards her purpose and push her towards her destiny, and making sure that she treats her body as a temple. You know, even relating this back to biblically, your body is a temple. And even if you're not a Christian, your body is still a temple. You got to treat it like it. And a high value woman believes, not only she believes, but she stands on the fact that her body is a temple. I always have this one mantra that if I don't do the things that I know are good for me, then I am self-sabotaging myself. I am standing myself up. When I don't go to the gym, I am standing myself up. When I don't eat healthy over consecutive days of time, I am not showing up for myself. And that is not an act of self-love. And so a high value woman always shows up for herself mentally and physically. She gets the therapy she needs. She understands she's not always right. It's not everybody's fault. She takes personal responsibility, and she's able to admit when she's wrong, and she's also able to change. That goes back to the growth mindset that we talked about. Point 10, intelligence. She is smart, child. That ain't no dumb girl. She's not stupid. She invests in her intelligence. It's important for her to be at the top or the creme de la creme in any field she's in. If she does hair, she makes sure that she gets all her licensing and all of her training and she builds out plans for it. If she's a doctor, she is figuring out how to be the best doctor she can be. If she's an entrepreneur, she is figuring out how to make inroads and become the mogul she needs to be. She is trying to be the best woman she could be in all points. And that takes being intelligent. She is curious. She asks questions. She tries to gain knowledge. She doesn't act like she knows everything. She sometimes will admit when she's wrong and she needs to learn something new in order to make her better. I always tell people in order to be better, in order to be the best you could be, you have to remain teachable. The minute you stop being teachable is the minute you can stop being great. And so the high value woman always remains curious, and that's what helps to aid into her intelligence and her intellect. And here's the thing, being a high value woman is not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself and being around people who could match the energy that you exude. It's about loving yourself wholly and holistically, and about that exuding from the inside out. And that's being a high value woman. So if you like the content, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if there's anything else or questions that you all may have. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.